Hello guys, this is my news updates for the last week and last couple of days. So I would like to start with briefly updates about our electricity. The situation is improving and we can have our warm breakfast. Those who have an electric oven, especially me, and we have electricity till 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 4 p.m. every day for already last 4 days, I guess, and situation is much better. Plus the heat is not anymore in Kyiv and in Ukraine, so we can use our AC because we have electricity. Especially it's not very hot, so it's really great. We can work better and everything is better. And now it's a little bit chilly. We have some rainy for the next days, and good news that last 2 nights we didn't have air raid sirens during the night in Kyiv. Before last week it was each night's drone attack in Kyiv area with debris falling and attacking Odessa and other places. So I posted this more in details last week and adding screenshots about how many we intercept and how many we don't last week, and it was constantly happened every day. What I would also like to mention, I found this in internet, that in Kharkiv area the longest air raid sirens was over 2 days. So 2 days, it's more than 48 hours air raid sirens start and ending. It's Kharkiv area, Kherson area, Zaporizhia area, those areas who are close to the front lines and to the Russian border, they're always under the attack. And the good news that Ukraine can strike back, and we strike a lot of military bases in Russia. And my favorite news is about the Ukrainian drone managed to fly 1800 kilometers in the northern Russia, in Murmansk region, in the airport Olenya. Why it's making me so happy? Because imagine, while I go to bed, I check the Telegram channel with their air raid sirens and different radars about rockets and different activities in the sky in Russia. And let's say 2 a.m. it's we see that the Russian planes take off in the airport Olenya. It means in 2-3 hours there will be rocket crossing the Ukrainian border. So the biggest amount of Russian bombarders located in Olenya Airport, and we have to target that. And then last night we reached this by drone and destroyed 222. So it's really good news because we have to stop this nightmare. Of course, our attack doesn't change the something significantly in the last couple of days, but how I say, step by step we have to defeat Russia and win this war. Also, I want to mention a little bit about this airport Olenya. It's located in the Murmansk region, and interesting fact that when I was a kid I was in Murmansk and Severomorsk because some part of life my grandmother lived there with my mom, and there up until now live our relatives with whom I not communicate from 2014 because they was very happy about Crimea and they really truly believe that we are banderovцы, we are Nazis and all these things. So I was okay, and it's strange, I visit this area from where they now doing the attacks. Also, the good news that we hit oil base in Kursk region. We had 3 Russian helicopters and something else. So what I want to mention by all this, step by step we have to defeat Russia, because I know all this attack, it's doesn't change something huge in this war, but step by step in the future we will see that this day airplane, another day is helicopter, and step by step we will win this war and will succeed in the front lines too. And usually by the end of the week the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky posts the video on social media about what's happened and which rocket attack and renovation it's happened in Ukraine for the last week in the different cities in Ukraine. So I add in this video now. Also on Sunday, people were gathering in each cities of Ukraine in the center and main squares to remember about Olenivka, and the other soldiers are still in the captivity. We have this event each Sunday, but last Sunday was dedicated to Olenivka. If you remember, 2 years ago, exactly on 28th and 29th this night of July, Russia blown up the barrack in Olenivka with our prisoners of war. So it's another war crime, because you cannot treat bad even the prisoners of war, but they barely killed them. They cannot defeat them in the front lines, so they killed them in the captivity. Over 50 were died and more than 120 were injured. So we gathered yesterday and remind the world about what we have right now. So this is my brief news updates, and on this video I would like to discuss a couple of important interviews that President Zelensky and Sirski mentioned last week, and what military experts said about this. So a couple of weeks ago I mentioned about that Zelensky gave an interview to Philadelphia Inquirer, where he mentioned that most probably we don't getting back our land till the border of 1991. That is what a lot of military experts were saying, and based on what? Because after the debates, the rating of Trump was much higher, so he gave this interview. So I don't know, it was first biggest interview about our borders that we cannot something achieve or get back. What's happened later? After the Trump got an assassination attempt on him, and his ratings was much higher, so it was almost clear that he is going to win this war and win this election. Sorry, it's always in my mind, win the war. So Zelensky gave an interview to BBC where he mentioned that most probably the hottest phase of this war will be over by the end of this year. And a lot of military analysts were discuss about this word and speech, what does it mean? It's also what's happened right after the Trump's ratings, let's say, and so maybe we are preparing for another scenario where maybe we have some other part, because before he never mentioned this in the beginning. Then we saw that our Minister of Affairs Kuleba go to China, and why? To discuss something with the president who is supporting Russia, or maybe China is going to be some part of the negotiation process. Of course I don't believe this, and I'm not support this trip to China at all. And this was latest two interview completely strange. And what's happened later, what I noticed, that Biden is not in the part of this competition. Kamala Harris there, and I see that Zelensky is not given any more interview, and Sirski is the main commander-in-chief of Armed Forces of Ukraine, give an interview about he knows how to fight, he knows how to win this war, he knows what to do, and how to get back all the land, and so on and so on. So what is, I want to say about all this, that Ukraine is so much dependent on the support from America. We don't have our weapons to fight. We spend them all in the first months of the full-scale invasion, and also you helped us a lot, and what we only have is drones. So the war in Ukraine and our victory is completely dependent from the election in US and which support we are going to have. And all this interview is just showing us that it's different swings of the different possible scenarios, but no one is going to give the land to Russia. I only believe in one scenario is something going wrong and back, and we don't have some enough support. Maybe we just stop for some period of time to collect in support. I don't know what the plans they will have till the end of this year, but everything will be more clear, I guess, in November. So till November we will see different things in our country with, for example, different strange with this travel to China, and this is interesting comments from President Zelensky. So we just seen that the rhetoric is changing, and so we will see, and we really hope that the woman will be the next president of USA, and we will have support as before. Also about the interview to BBC, Zelensky mentioned that finally we will have 6 F-16 by the end of August and 20 more later. So all in all it's 26, but to protect Ukraine we need 120. So it's a lot, and also we use F-16 not to target Russia, just to defend our land. All the support what we have from US is just to protect us, not to invade Russia, unfortunately. So we can target Russia only with our drones. We don't have this munition to defeat Russia, unfortunately, and no one give us this power just to protecting us. And why F-16? With F-16 is easier to target some types of the rockets, and I saw these comments about the Ahmadid, because F-16 can intercept rockets in the sky and air defense systems from the land, and if we have enough F-16 we can intercept all the rockets, and especially those one X-101 that was target Ahmadid. Russia doesn't have enough amount of them, but sometimes they use it and it's very difficult to target them, but F-16 will be great for this type of rockets. So it's very important for us to protect our land, to protect our civilians, our children, and that is support that we have. And so also today in the news I checked that finally we have the support in the amount of 1.7 billion US dollars. This support includes social help and military weapons, and I just want to let you know that we don't have any support, because some of mentioned me that they give us money for rockets, for different munitions. I just would like to remind you that we don't have money for from you for the rockets or munitions. We have this equivalent in the rockets, air defense systems, and F-16s. Only money what we have is for paying the salary and paying the pensions. This is the money what we have from the different support. So also I can add for this point that our expenses exceed our income. So this is right the situation in Ukraine, and of course thank you for all your supports. And we don't have our munitions. We completely dependent from US and the help from the other countries. So I mentioned all these interviews again to show that we really need your support, because if we don't get support, I don't know what the future will be of Ukraine nearest months, because we will not have source to fight. We have people, desire, but we need weapons and F-16s. Please help us with weapons, F-16s, and we have to win this war. So thank you again for following my channel, your interest in Ukraine, and your help and support is really appreciated. And don't forget to put likes and subscribe to my video. It really helps my channel to grow and help more people to find true information about what's happening in my country. And we have to defeat Russia, and you will have a chance to visit Ukraine and see how my country is amazing. So thank you again. I'm going home because it's really getting cold, and I hope you hear me very well with this wind and so on.